Good morning, everyone. I'm Heather Corley, and I am the Client Service Operation Manager here at TWG Wealth Planning. I'm also a licensed professional and am on the planning team as well. I have worked in the financial industry for about 17 years in different aspects. So I've worked at a broker-dealer that eventually bought out by LPL, an RIA firm, and I've worked with several different LPL advisors, independent advisors. In February of 2021 is when I came to TWG Wealth Planning, and I started with helping a client transition from an acquisition, and I did a second one in December of 2021. Since joining the team, I quickly identified some areas that we can improve on just from my past experience. So I started my role as the Client Service Operation Manager about a year ago, and it took many meetings with both of our teams. So our team down in Peoria and our team here at Naperville. So we began the process of creating and implementing more efficient processes and just identifying which associates had strengths where and what they were good at, and putting it all together and creating new processes and recreating the ones we already had in place. So processes and procedures are so important to keeping our advisors and team running smoothly. Our operations team is an extension to our advisors. We help them with meeting prep, the meeting notes, any follow-up, and creating reminders to reach back out to our clients if there's a follow-up appointment that needs to be made. If you've had the pleasure of speaking to any of our associates, and if you've become comfortable with speaking to one of them, please rest assured that you have access to all of us now. So if one person's not available, you are able to call our office and get any one of us, and we will be able to help you. The whole point of creating this team-based approach is to make sure that the service level is enhanced, not decreased. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to our one associate here. If you've had the pleasure of speaking to her, she's very cheerful and brings very much joy to the team. Her name is Janet. So Janet, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell your role with TWG.
Hi, everyone. My name is Janet Piruete, and I am one of the Senior Operation Associates for TWG Wealth Planning. I did join the team back on August of 2023 as John Davila's Assistant and Operations Manager. One of many roles that I do is oversee the day-to-day to our operational functions and ensure that we provide our clients with the best service possible. So at this moment, I would like to introduce you guys to our Senior Associate, Lindsay Zollers.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Zollers. I have been working with the team since July of 2017 when I came on as an assistant for Jeff. I work with the clients in the day-to-day processing of their needs, as well as our back-end operations tasks as well. And next we have Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny Cabe, and I oversee the day-to-day operations here at our Peoria office. Before joining TWG, I did run the day-to-day operations for a different firm for 16 years. I resigned from there in July of 21 and made a brief stop at a local hospital here as an assistant to director of oncology, and soon realized how much I missed this. So in March of 2022, I had the opportunity and pleasure of joining the TWG Wealth Planning team.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. So for those who have just joined us, we just did some introductions. But we can come back to that and reintroduce everybody. But we have identified the most frequently asked topics, and we would like to touch on each one of those topics to help you better understand our processes and give you a chance to ask questions throughout this. So the first topic that we often get asked about is Account View. Account View is the program that you will get enrolled into after opening an account with TWG or LPL Financial. So Janet, why don't you tell us the benefits of enrolling in Account View 2.0?
Okay, yeah, of course. So Account View is basically LPL's website for you guys, for our clients to log in and view their accounts online 24/7. You're able to view your account balances, transactions, performance. You're actually able to, if you're looking for statements or tax forms, you will also find them through your Account View. Most clients prefer paperless, so that's definitely the option to select if you have Account View as well. Another benefit that for Account View is you're able to update your beneficiaries on files, but that's very limited to 401ks and Coverdales. So, but anybody else are able to just go in and update their beneficiaries through Account View. Some of the non-retirement accounts, for those clients, they're actually able to establish ACH bank instructions on file through Account View. And then the best benefit of it all, you're able to download an app to your Apple phone or your Android phone, and you're basically able to log into Account View through your mobile app.
Okay, thank you.
So,
another topic that comes up is obviously money movement. So, you know, whether it's sending money to LPL to fund your account or if you need a distribution. So let's start with incoming funds into LPL. Janet, how would a client contribute money to their LPL account? Where would they begin?
So the way that they will begin is we always recommend for our clients to email our operations team. And usually that email address, it's operations@TWG Wealth Planning with the details of their request. And one of our team members will always call to verbally confirm that request first. We collect the bank instructions on file if we don't have any instructions on file. And then if there is no instructions on file, we do send out that form for signature and approval for LPL to save the bank account on file. And once that's been taken care of, then we go ahead and proceed with the request.
Okay, so what would be like the time frame for the funds to be received?
So for an income ACH, the instructions are already on file. It does take 1 or 3 business days for the client's funds pretty much to be released from their bank account into LPL. And if the instructions are not on file, we do say that it takes 5 to 7 business days for that request to get completed from the date that the form has been signed.
Okay. What about if someone needs funds? So sending money to their bank account.
Absolutely. So once again, we do recommend that our clients email the operations email address, and then from there, give us the request. One of our team members will call to verbally confirm the request. Once again, if there's forms that need to be required, we will always send those instructions first, and then once they are approved, then we'll go ahead and proceed with the request.
Okay. And if, just a reminder, if your account is invested, so if there's no cash available in the account, we would need to place some trades. So just a reminder that any trade requests need to be called into our office. We cannot take emails. And all requests should be received by our office by 11:30 Central Time, Monday through Thursday, and on Fridays by 11 a.m. Central Time. We do try to process everything at best efforts. If it does not hit these timeframes, we will process it the next business day. So the next topic we'd like to talk about is something that's been coming up lately, and it's whether a client wants to give information to their spouse about maybe their IRA account, or they want to share information with a third party, there are required forms we need to have on file. So I'm going to hand this off to Jenny. Jenny, when would a client use the PII form? And-
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the PII form is actually the permission to disclose form. So if there's ever a family member, a spouse, a friend, that you're wanting to disclose your account information to, we would need to have this form on file before we could do so. A couple other ones that we would have this on file for would be your attorney. If you're doing any estate planning, a lot of times we'll hear from an attorney or the client requesting information on your accounts in order to set up any estate planning documents. So we would need your attorney listed. Another big one would be your CPA. So around tax season, we do get a lot of calls from either the client or CPA needing more information regarding 1099. If they haven't been received, we could then send 1099s to the CPA, but we would need this form on file before we could do so.
Okay, so let's say a client wanted to take it a step further and they wanted to give authority to a family member to do more than just get information. What form would be required then?
So they could also put on file what is called the trading authorization form. And this could give them either full or partial authorization to request trades to take place on your account and even request funds. So if this is something that you are putting on file, please know that someone could call in on an account that you've given them access to request distributions from there.
Okay. And just to add to that, thank you, Jenny. This form, the trading authorization form, this would be if you really trust the person. So keep that in mind, because they do have access to make trades, request funds to be sent to the bank account. So that would be, somebody that you really trust. So moving on to the next topic, our office, our operations team, we take it a step further, and there's some things that we do behind the scenes that you may not know about. And one of them that we really try to take care of is the required minimum distributions for clients. And what that means is we take all of your retirement accounts that you have with us, excluding your Roth IRAs, if you have any, and we look at your year-end balances, and then we figure out what your required minimum distribution would be for the upcoming year. And it's all figured out based on the life expectancy tables, which is pulled directly from the IRS website. And there's different types of tables that need to be used for different clients. So for an example, if your spouse is 10 years younger than you, that's a whole different table than just the normal single life table. So I'm going to hand this off to Lindsay, since she's the one that leads this project in our office, and she's going to kind of explain the process of how we handle this.
All right, so Heather kind of touched on it there. We take the 2020, in this case, 2022 year-end values, and we add those all together and we calculate what distributions you are currently taking or scheduled to take, and find out if those distributions will or will not cover your required minimum distribution for that year. Like Heather mentioned, the factors are different depending on if it's a beneficiary IRA or if your spouse is more than 10 years younger than you. So it's very important for us to have all that information on you and your spouse to calculate those properly. Like Heather also mentioned, it is not required for Roth IRAs, but it is required on all of your traditional IRAs, SEP IRAs, 401ks. All of those are taken into consideration. If you have IRA accounts or 401k accounts and you are over the age of 73 and they are not held with our office, you have either another advisor or it's an account that you don't have an advisor on, we ask you to notify our office of those so that we can make sure that your RMD is still being satisfied across the board, as well as if you don't want to take your RMDs from the accounts, maybe you take it all from one, or you have a special way that you like to do it. We just ask that you let us know so that we are seeing the full picture when we are calculating those.
So, oh, go ahead, Lindsay.
I was just going to say, you have a couple options when it comes to receiving those RMDs. You can receive them as a check or an ACH to your bank account. But if you are not in need of the cash, you can also have those funds journaled to a non-qualified account and keep them invested if that cash isn't necessary for you.
Okay, so to add to Lindsay's, thank you for explaining all of that. We are trying to push one of the projects we were working on last year and coming into this year is really trying to get everybody on auto RMD. So think of it as if you have a credit card, you want it to be on an auto, just taking care of the minimum. If you need more, you can always do more. And then we do have, a select few clients that like to do charitable donations. And, maybe you don't need the money and you want to donate it, because if you donate it, it's not going to count towards your taxable income. But just remember that if you do that, you will get a 1099 at tax time. It will show that you took a distribution, but the IRS does not show that it went to a charity. So it is up to you to keep your records organized and document everything, because you will want to give that all to your CPA or your accountant at tax time. So another service that we provide is if you're already enrolled in our e-blast that we send out from TWG, you notice that we do send out reminders to schedule your annual review. They come out twice a year, usually around January and July. So if you're not getting those emails, please let us know. With those emails, you're also getting newsletters. There's a lot of good information in there about what's going on with the markets, the economy, the operations team. There's some good recipes in there. So be sure to be looking out for those. If we do not hear from you for scheduling your reviews, we are starting a new project of trying to reach out to you to get you on the calendar. So we want to make sure that we're at least seeing you once a year. So when would you reach out to our TWG office outside of your annual reviews? Jenny, do you want to help answer this question?
Sure. So anytime you have a life change, and we all know that there are many changes that happen in life. So address change, phone number, email, a marriage, divorce, death, a change of your job, if you have a 401k rollover that you need to do, a lost job. And then again, if you're doing any estate planning, if you need to update your documents here with us, or if we need to set anything up as far as re-registering accounts, updating beneficiaries, those would be a few. If you have power of attorney or will that we need to put on file here, we would need those documents as well. And then if you're wanting to update maybe your risk tolerance or your financial plan, those would be some other reasons why you'd want to reach out other than your review.
Yep. I think you hit on every point, so thank you. And then before we take questions, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder. So anytime you have any kind of request, and it could be for the advisors, for our operations team, whatever it may be, you can always call our number here. So the Naperville number, 630-615-6332. And then there's also the Peoria branch. So you can also email us at operations@twgwealthplanning.com. Again, anything that you may need, we are the front linemen, so we will direct you if we cannot help. We've got non-licensed assistants and licensed assistants, so we always try to help you as much as we can, because John and Jeff are in meetings. So if there's nothing we can do, we will escalate it to the next person. So with that said, I will open it up for questions. If anybody wants to ask any questions. No questions? Okay. Do you ladies have anything to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if there's no questions, we want to thank you. And again, we appreciate your trust in your business, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you. Have a great day,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
You.